Start again. I don't know where.
Hey, it's Angela with To Restore You. Take 2. I don't know what's happening, but my phone keeps cutting out. And so Dave's been talking. He's my special guest tonight. We had Zenny on here. I'll bring her back in a minute. But today, before I get started, let's give a shout out to Jan and Lisa L. Thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for subscribing and for having fun with us. So I've got some very odd pieces here. But before I walk away to show our other special guest, I want to introduce my husband, Dave, who has to do this haul because he actually hung out with me and participated incredibly well in our thrift shop walk that day.
We had a fun weekend.
We did have a fun weekend. So I've got little things here. So if he gets out of line, you need to call him out. But I'm going to turn it over to Dave while I go get our other special guest. And why don't you tell him about how our day got started and what these 2 things are in front of you?
You're going to have to give me clarification statements, but long story short, I was buying stuff for one of our flip houses or rental houses. I don't remember. But I talked her into going to Menards with me. And in my...
Menards in the United States is a box store just like where you would buy...
it's a construction supply store.
Yeah. Hobby Lobby.
2x4s. And
Lowe's, all
that. But anyway, we got separated. And I got all of my stuff. And I was kind of ready to be in and out. And we got separated. And... these are some of the items that my wife had in her cart when she came back. And I was like, why do you have these things? So she had flex tape.
it's as seen on TV.
Yes, there's an infomercial for it. See?
What does it do?
I don't know. It's 4 inches wide.
No, right here. It says right here. Patches, bonds, seals, repairs.
Oh, yeah. Repairs. Yeah. So, I mean...
we could do an infomercial. Maybe they want us to be their sponsor.
I can be Ron Popeil. And then
the pocket fisherman.
She got a masking tape, and I was like, are we painting something that I'm not aware of?
I wouldn't do that.
Because I don't like to paint at
We
all.
hired Dave, not you, Dave, the painter.
The other Dave, the painter. And then she found this awesome glue bottle, which I'm actually...
put it up close to so they can see what the name of it. It's called a Babe Bot. Who wouldn't want that?
And what's great about it, so if you do crafts or woodworking or anything like that, it's awesome because the gravity feeds down this way and then it goes into this. So even if you're working like upside down, hypothetically, if I wanted to do something upward, it'll come out, it'll squeeze out. And it stays stable as long as you leave the tip on.
From a crafter perspective, using Fabri-Tac, the verdict's still out. But he did fix it so it would work. And let me interrupt you for 2.5 seconds so I can put our other special guest down.
Okay, I'll move the stuff.
All right. Here you go. Hey, Duba.
She's not into it right now.
She doesn't want to be on camera. Here, you do it.
Look, this is our littles. Her name's Zenny.
Yeah, she can't see her face. You got to put her upside down.
I don't think she wants to see her face right now.
Oh, there she is.
There's the littles.
Zenny Boo.
Yep.
Okay, you can go lay down with the kitty cat.
She is our itty bitty puppy. And I didn't like her at first, but we seem to get along now.
Dave Straub.
I like her now, but I'm just not. I grew up on a farm, so I'm not a little.
Lay in your bed.
I'm not a little dog guy, so she's grown on me. So after we left Menards and Ange went with me,
I took advantage.
I agreed to go with her to a, air quotes, new thrifting store.
What I said is, oh, I forgot today is the grand opening of a new thrift shop. We should go. And he's like, oh, fine.
I went. She went with me to Menards, and even though
this is one of my first
she
finds.
bought weird stuff at Menards, I still went to the thrift store. And then I don't know. We kind of got separated there.
How it happened was I was looking at the craft stuff and fabrics and office supplies, and you went and sat down on those green chairs.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was taking a time out, and there was these great old green chairs,
kind of a sagey green chair, and he was sitting on it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, these are awesome! They remind me of my grandma." And I'm very, very short, and so my feet in a recliner never ever touch the ground. So these, I was like, let me sit in the other one. There were matching ones. It was like Edith and Archie or whatever from, what is that show called? And I'm like, let me sit down.
Those were the days?
And that's the song. Don't
okay,
sing,
sorry.
Don't sing it.
No, I won't.
So I sat down in it and I'm like, Dave, not only do these rock, not only do they swivel, but they recline. So we bought 2 of them for $30 to go in my mid-mod design theme for one of our rentals.
Which
and Dave just
I was fine with because
I
wanted a place to sit until we left.
Yeah, so then I kept walking around, and my last... Oh, gosh.
Stop it. Keep telling your story.
My last stop is always the books. And I came around the corner, and Dave is sitting on the floor in the, like, classic book section on the floor. And all these people are walking around him, and he's got, like, 7 books, like, all around him.
So there's a story behind the story, which I actually do want to...
Okay, this is going to make amazing...
I want to keep this before you take it apart. Because
this is what happened, you guys.
Encyclopedias are important.
Okay, what year?
It looks like the last edition here was 49. So this one's 49.
Oh, that's pretty. Okay, so...
But, I mean, seriously. Read that first line and tell me that you think I'm going to let you cut this book up.
Genetics. Yours are messed up.
Gregor Mendel's definite laws.
Yeah, we're not talking doctor stuff.
I know, but I like this stuff. That's why I was sitting
there.
So
there were like 6 volumes, and I only bought 2.
I don't like the idea that we separated them, but I know that you're going to separate them more.
You did. I thought somebody else would want them.
I'm very linear in my thinking, and I am pretty much scientific, and I don't like to
Okay,
take
so there was a
books.
story behind you sitting on the floor reading the books.
What was that?
I don't know. You started to say there was a story here.
Oh, it was just that I was picking out books that I liked, and Ange was...
He did. We're not showing those tonight, but because they're already at his house and his library, but... And when I say his house, I really mean our house. It's just, we've got a few more years until we're symbiotic in one family. So these are my favorite.
Oh, these are stamped out of an elementary school.
Yeah, but I love the typeset.
Last stamp, 1970. Our last
when was
checkout.
This issue? So Dave got like 4 or 5 books, but...
I keep mine. 64.
Nice. So tell them as you... Okay, you don't have to flip through every page. Like, go to some fun pages.
I'm trying to. I'm just going slow. Tell them what?
Tell them what you did while I was still looking at books and you were done looking at books. Where did you go?
The coat section?
The clothes section.
Yeah.
And he kept coming back going, Angela, look at this jacket.
My size is a 44, and they had a plethora of 44s at the new store. So I just kept buying blazers, and then I bought a trench coat and a whole bunch of other stuff. And turns out she liked it, and it cost me like $5 a piece.
$9 a piece.
They were not that much.
They were $9 a piece, but they were 15% off. So
oh, So they were cheaper. No.
But years and years ago.
Eddie and the Goat. Who doesn't want to know about that story?
I don't know. Years and years ago. Not years and years ago. I guess it was only like 4 years ago. We had a little...
Des Moines Public School, 1962. Sorry.
Awesome. We had a little debacle at our acreage. We Airbnb'd it, and there may have been some stealing of every pair of Dave's jeans, all of his suits, and what else?
Just too much.
Yeah,
to mention.
but those two things from the closet were pretty significant.
Yeah.
And so Dave's like, oh, I had one like this. And I'm like, pretty sure the one you're buying now is not going to be equivalent to the one that you had. But
it's
okay,
perfectly
if it makes
fine.
you happy.
It's fine. So can I just say something that I don't know how you translate on a video? But seriously, smell that. That smells like elementary school.
It does, doesn't it?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know what it is, but it smells like elementary school.
It doesn't smell musty either.
No, it just smells like elementary school.
It smells like...
And I don't know what that scent is. But...
What was your worst... Okay, so I'm going to ask everybody out there. What was your worst meal that you had at elementary school in the cafeteria? Mine was chicken a la king. There was no way I was eating that.
Seriously?
No, but my best was pizza. They had that square pizza. It was fantastic. What was yours?
I don't know that I ever had a bad meal. I was, hang on. What is it? Oh, the Man in the Line. I like that one. I don't know that I've ever had a bad one. The worst was if you were a growing boy like a lot of us were, all you got for seconds was the butter on the buttered bread. Remember? They'd put the super thick butter on it, and then they'd fold it in half, and that was your
That was your second?
That was your second. You could go back and get as much buttered bread as you wanted.
No, I wouldn't live like that. I'm not a big bread.
You had to have that at your place, though. I mean,
well, maybe. No, but we had a shake. Did you have a malt and shake machine? Because we had that, and we got cherry shakes. Those were the best.
Way richer than we were.
Well,
no,
not really.
Your school
so
district.
I grew up in a town of 15,000. Dave grew up in a town of
under 2.
Under 2. So how many kids were in your graduating class?
When I graduated, we had 88, but when I started, we only had 45. But that's when they started putting schools together.
So in Iowa, they started consolidating schools because they couldn't afford them independently. But my school apparently could be independent, and we got a shake machine.
You were rich, I'm telling you. You had all the good stuff.
I was not, but...
I would like to read this book later and find out why Danny's Pig is so special. But I have to read it.
All right, so are you wondering at any point in you looking at these why I buy them?
Yeah, there's a curiosity there. I'd like to know. I'm going through the exercise because I kind of like to understand what you do.
Dave hates cutting up any type of book, so...
Yeah, that's fair. 66. Yeah, no, I do not like...
59 by the copyright.
Last copyright. And it was last used in 66.
You know, the best thing to do is go to the middle and then flip back. Because don't you always go to the back?
I go to the back.
Me too.
Read backwards, yeah.
How many of you do that? Do you get a magazine and read from the back to the front? Because I do. I just thought this is a unique songbook.
If you're going to do something with this, it's actually really pretty. The graphics are great.
Right. So this would be something that you would do and put on a... I'm explaining to Dave so he understands.
Thank you.
You would take this because it's pretty thin. You would put this on, back it to another piece of paper, that's too thin, like a scrapbook piece of paper.
Okay.
And then
like
now
a cardstock.
You could put this on cut it out, put it on the middle of a page, and then you could tuck things in it that people could journal on.
Oh, I like that. There's actually some...
I don't know if I can cut this up. Oh, look, and this person...
I actually know that song.
Did.
Yeah, I actually know that song. And they went through...
Well, I should hope to shout you know that song.
Well, I was looking at the other ones, trying to figure out if I could sing them.
Is this the one? Like, is this the one that... Look at the first song. One of these books had the song that reminded me of my teacher in kindergarten. She was...
Songs you know. Johnny Schmoker?
Nope, that wasn't it.
Nope, don't know that one. Little Red Caboose.
No, it
Polly Wally Doodle.
That. It must have been something else that I read.
But I like it. I mean, like seriously, if you look at this, that's pretty good. If you're gonna cut up a book, I would as long as you're reusing it. Give me a home where the buffalo roam,
where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard.
I cannot tell you how many times I did that.
So would that be like piano or?
No, it could be any instrument. They're just marking what it is. And so like if you're on the trumpet, you're like G,
no, that wouldn't be on a flute.
Well, I don't know how to play a flute.
Well, that's what I played.
But I mean, how would you read it if you were playing it on a flute?
I guess that you would do it on a flute. That way it would sound
yeah,
weird,
you just have different finger positions, right? Yeah. I mean, but anyhow. All right, moving on.
All right, so here's what's next.
These are your children. Are they?
Are you sure there are children? Sometimes we have to question that.
That definitely doesn't look like my child. But, okay. So what is this, like a psychology book or something?
I have no idea, but I bought it because there's images that are individual. When is it published?
I don't know. 53.
Okay, so look at this. So this is, an image you can cut out.
Oh, yeah. Like if you're going to use things.
Oh, why you're doing that?
Parts.
Keep talking about it and look at it.
I'm going to the middle. Oh, my goodness. Wow. There are a lot of pictures in here for you, kiddo.
Okay, so let me show you this. Can I interrupt?
So, yeah.
No, you
well, tell me how you would use this. Like, what are these for?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we want all the comments to educate Dave on how we would use this.
I will actually read them.
This would be adorable. She's sweeping and picking it up with the dustpan that I wish I had one of these now. But you could cut all of this out and put it on a page. Or you can cut the whole thing out and make it a
pocket.
And back it with this. You could back it with this. And then somebody could journal on the back of it. And maybe it's a,
You have to show me more of these.
House journal.
What are we doing here? I just want to know.
Do you not remember?
Was that nap time?
Did you not have nap time?
Was that nap time?
Our mats were rubber, though. Like, mine was green and everybody else had blue.
I think we had to bring, like, something that was the equivalent of an entry rug to your house.
Yeah.
That's
all right, so put this in your hand.
This?
Like, leave that there. And bring it up. Okay. So this is one of my digitals. And I want you to look at it. Like, lean it up here and look at it. Do you know who that is?
It looks like you.
Okay, it's my Grandma Rose. And this is my dad.
Oh, stop. Yeah, no kidding?
They're the only ones that are debuted in one of my digitals. But that is why I love these. Like, they're all cut out.
Right. David does like planes. So.
David likes planes. So, I'll take my grandma.
Rest is short but complete.
Okay. But that's kind of what we do, and then we put them on a page.
Huh. These are pretty cool. This, I don't have a problem with breaking apart because I'm not going to use it as a reference and go back to it. But encyclopedias, I have a little bit of a problem with.
All right. Are you ready for another one?
Sure.
Okay, yep. What are we at?
Coming. I have no idea.
We're at 19 minutes. We're doing fantastic. Dave Schrod, you rock it.
I'm powering through.
Okay, here you go. This is going to be amazing.
The basic sight word test on the basic sight vocabulary.
So when we were at...
This reminds me of school.
So how much did that say it was? Is that $3.28?
Yeah, but that's back
from
when
Warren's
it was
department store. But or probably not a department store, probably like a school.
It says department store.
Okay. I don't know where Warren's department store is.
Coina, California, I think.
And this is published in Champaign,
Champaign, Illinois.
You're gonna love these.
I don't want to like tear anything.
You won't. But I think I'm gonna coffee stain some of these, which you may be a party to this weekend.
I don't know that I will be a party to it.
Your head's gonna get in the...
Sorry. You're getting a lot of me right now. Okay, this is kind of cool. So is this like for a teacher? Oh, that's fun.
So
the
they
basic
put their name.
sight word test. So what is the test? I guess I'm getting off track.
I think if you flip, I think there might be like answers to it or something. I don't remember. But
Send me to the... I bet there's like a question.
Dave, this is probably what you had to do when you were going through your...
Stop it.
Speech therapy.
Don't need to revisit old times.
Well, okay. Somewhere in there, I think were answers. I thought.
Well, I want to know what the question is. I mean, what do you want me to do? Just like circle a thing? I mean, is it... Oh, I get it. I think I'm getting it. You're picking out the one thing that's not the same? Nope. Because I'd be like,
do you remember Sesame Street? One of these things is not like the
Yes, I do. I can sing that for you. One of these things is just like the other one. One of these things just doesn't belong. Sorry. I forgot that we're on camera.
You're making stuff up.
That's how it went.
Did it?
Yeah.
What about the count? One. Oh, there's the answers.
One lovely answer.
Beautiful, Angela.
Yes. Sure. Sorry, I keep looking over.
So, what were the words that you couldn't, like on this, what were the words that you couldn't say? The?
T's and S's were my problem. I had a cleft palate growing up, so I had to have some surgery and get a good amount of speech therapy. But like 22 requires some enunciation.
Oh, so what is the word that you call me all the time?
Beautiful.
Yeah. So listen. So say it again.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And my kids all make fun of him because he's like, why do you say it like that?
Because it's hard to say.
All right. This is...
Oh, this one was your favorite. Angela's favorite. Yes. And she was explaining to me why it was so important. And I know what I know, and she knows what she knows. And
he knows how to cross stitch.
Oh, I 100% know how to cross stitch. My mama taught me that. But
Annette Mitchell is the author of this book.
Oh, okay. But it has that Edith Holden. Is that right?
You win. Oh, I just slapped him on the chest.
Yeah, nice. Way to whack me on that one. And Ange was showing me, she was actually quite proud of this one. Why is it 85?
Okay, 1985. Which I will totally use those in a fashion journal, because why wouldn't you, right?
You 100% dressed like that in 1985.
Okay, so in this book, it's by month. So if you go to flip ahead a little bit, I think, flip to the beginning of January. And the only reason I bought it.
Oh my gosh, these are fantastic.
This one's not the reason.
They're still fantastic. I love it.
Okay, now you got to scoot it over to the...
Oh, right here. I got you
So
now.
these are copies of her original works. And I was like, well, you can't beat that. So every month they're in there. So if you guys see one of these country craft journals, pick it up and take it home.
Well, you have to explain who Edith Holden is, because you explained it to me.
She was, in 1906, she had a published work. I don't know when she started actually
I like that.
Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we had horses or you had horses like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when she started actually documenting everything, but not only did she write about her diaries of, going out in the country, and
that's cool.
It's my month. What kind of bird is that?
April. That's a thresher?
I think it is. Thrasher.
Thrasher, yeah. A thrasher's a machine that beats wheat. I think that's a thresher. No, thresher? I think it's a thresher.
Okay.
Wait, I don't know. Yeah, correct I think you're right.
Comment and tell us, is it a thrasher or a thresher? I think it's a thrasher.
I think it's a thresher. You're right. A thresher is a machine that beats wheat.
Yeah. But she started doing illustrations and documenting in her diary everything that she was seeing, and it's fabulous. And for those of you who are new to junk journaling, you will, if you just Google Edith Holden and look for, or Amazon, it's so expensive to find her stuff. I mean, if I find an original, I might wet my pants wherever I might be. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
God. It terrifies me, the things I don't know about you sometimes. This is kind of cute. What does this mean?
Well, you know better than I. You were the cross stitch. Oh, well, I cross stitched too.
Oh, that's just a pattern guide. Okay. Mm-hmm. I got it.
Oh, that's just a pattern guide.
Well, we had the circle things.
So why did your mom
put them in and tight?
Why did your mom make you cross stitch? Because you were so ADD.
Stop.
Is that why?
It gave me something to do with my hands.
Which is probably not why you're a doctor and give the best stitches.
I do a good stitch.
This is something. Okay, so look at my hands. Look at Dave's hands. I do want to have a competition with Dave on stitching, on hand stitching, and to see who makes better stitches. Because I am absolutely convinced that I will lose.
Are you going to do straight needle and a thimble, or are we going to do a hook needle? Because
he's already lost me.
On a hook needle, I'm going to crush you.
So doctors need to know how to stitch, and Dave does some of the best stitches that never leave scars. So I'm losing. Okay, let's. But
I also don't do embroidery. So I mean, you can be better at that. But yeah, that's cool. I like that one. I like the pictures.
All right, this is not from our thrift haul.
Where did you get this from?
This is from an auction that I bought from Maryland.
Oh my, I'm going to just really enjoy it. Oh, seriously?
Yeah. Okay, so they cannot see any of that.
I was going to say, sorry. Well, I'm trying to see it.
Hold it up so they can see. I have been looking for Braille, and I'm going to tear most of that out and coffee stain it and make it pretty.
But there's no translation?
Well.
Oh, it says Braille Series 1992, Book 3. I'm trying to read it.
Well, if you just put your finger across.
Oh, yeah, because I just speak.
1993, Braille. See? Look how I did that.
You're making it. You are totally making stuff up.
Okay.
I want to look at it.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted that series that tells you what it says on each page.
Oh, does it? Is there another one?
Right here.
Oh, man. Okay, so I don't know what you do with your whole journaling or whatever.
Yeah.
But the texture on this, that's nice. For a guy who...
You're tactical.
Yes. That is...
So...
You find one of those, I would snatch that up, because that is really cool. And if you can figure out what it actually says...
Well, I think that's what I think this says what it says.
Well, now I'm going to read it.
Well, not on camera.
No, but I'm going to read it later in Braille. I'll be darned. It does. Yeah,
Here,
it's a translation.
Show them that.
Yeah.
Here, you got to move it over to...
Yeah. So it's 2 dots up is BB and 2 side is CC. And
we can learn another language. It'd be way easier.
God knows I could use it. Because, yeah.
Because I don't remember any... What language did you take?
Spanish and Fortran.
I took...
Computer Fortran. No joke. Aw.
This is cool. I did find that. And I saved it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Here, hold it up. And the thing is that put your fingers on that and hold it
Yeah,
up.
no, like they did a wax over it or something? Is that
it's
like
hot
pen?
It's like the paint that's like bubble paint so that she or
feel it.
June, right? Is her name?
Fran.
And then
they spelled it out inside.
Happy 80th birthday. That is so cool.
I got to be a smidge honest.
I know. I got a little.
Kinda wanna.
I got a little bit verklempt when I read that. I was like, that is the coolest thing.
And I think that they just put this in between so it didn't damage the raised texture. Honestly. But that's super cool.
So one thing that I mean, this is me. You just don't talk and just kind of flip through that while I say this. Is there is something to be said about everything that I find, and I always sit for a moment and think, who were these people, or what were they doing, or you know, I make up stories in my head like, oh, you know, it was Bill and June and they did this, you know, like I just am fascinated by history, and I always have been. It's probably one thing that we love. Okay, so we're only 31 minutes in. Would you like to do the rest of my auction haul that you didn't have a part of? Let's just do it.
Do people want? Do they pay attention this long?
They'll pay attention if you just keep talking and having fun.
Can I say a side story about you and that?
Yeah.
Is that my mom passed away last year? Was it in the last year?
Okay, you need to have something in front of you so that they have something to look at.
Okay. Anywho, one of the things that I remember the most about her that I think Ange would like, because this seems like it's a nostalgia thing that you're doing.
Yeah, very much.
I mean, you're recreating memories and
trying to kind of restore the past when in a different way.
Yeah, you're restoring it in I mean, I'll read a book that's 50 years old, but most people aren't interested. So you take it and make it into something that's interesting to a certain collective. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to look at is those. My mom kept a daily diary, but it wasn't a diary. It was like a flip chart. Do you remember those? I have all of them when she passed, that I got that like 4 boxes, and they're all like, Arlo left the house today at 7:30.
They're more like a calendar, and she just kept her calendars for every single day and wrote on it. But
they were retrospective. They weren't.
My kids' grandma did the same thing, and every day she would say, "It's raining today. The corn's not doing so hot," or you know, whatever.
Yeah, or Arlo put gas in the truck and left at 7, and got home at 5, and those kind of things.
So that is what we're trying to do, and we're also trying to maybe.
This is cool.
Okay,
sorry. Finish your story.
And maybe take that footprint and recycle things instead of throwing stuff in the trash.
Well, and they were cool. Like, I mean, if you did something with that, I'd be actually pretty interested, you know. So this is pretty.
Okay,
looks like a
so
treat.
We're going to sign off, and we're going to come back and do part 2. But before we do, I wanted all of you to see this. This was, Dave apparently didn't remember this. This is a gift from my mama, and it sits up, and it's a tree, and she made one for my sister, one for my sister-in-law, and one for me, out of an old book. So I think that's amazing. She has way more patience than I do to actually make this happen. And then, but she didn't stop there. Like, so this is the book. And then she made, remember she made the 2 candles, like
oh yeah,
the lights that went with
two
it.
little lights that went with it.
It's a whole vignette, and it's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I think
I love me some mama, and that's why I do what I do, because my mom and my grandma just gave me every opportunity to be amazing at art.
Your comment was color outside the lines.
Yeah, my mom always said, you don't have to color inside the lines. Color outside the lines. It will be fine. So, with that...
That is who you are.
Okay, we need to put something up here because...
Oh, how about these?
How about Dr. Hands?
These are very... They did 47 people's worth of stuff today. So they're
oh, before we go, let's just tell, again, my mom thing.
You tell it.
What does it say?
It's SOS.
I thought it said, be safe, be smart.
We've had this conversation. It's SOS.
Well, okay. Well, my mom always has said to us when we were little, be safe, be smart. She says it to our grandkids all around. So they all got bracelets in Morse code.
Here's a funny one. My mom said, have fun and be careful. And I was like, I can't do both. And it drove her crazy every time I left the house.
So with that, we will be back with another fun video. And apparently Dave is going to do a second debut. So everybody, if you love him, give him a huge encore, hands up, shout out. And we'll be back in just a little bit. Until then, remember to take time to just be. Cheers, everybody.